Hey guys, welcome back to GreyWolf TV. We are continuing on with the X-Files Season 4, Episode 5. The last episode with the killer who was able to imprint his fantasies and stuff onto film, onto undeveloped film was really weird. I kind of figured it out quite early, but I think they kind of led the audience to knowing who the perpetrator was quite early with him being on the stilts thing, and it's showing us in the photograph. It was it was a bit of an unusual episode. I enjoyed it quite a lot because it was something that a killer was leaving behind as regards evidence without knowing so, because he wasn't leaving any other evidence whatsoever, and it was all he felt as though he was saving these people. It was thoroughly enjoyable. So we're just going to carry straight on, see what happens next. This is episode 5.
But scattered wrecks, enough of it to remain dim memories. The goal in sight again.
That was deep. Hold on, am I alive?
90% of the compound.
We have to find him.
There's no sign of the weapons. They've hid them somewhere.
Where haven't we come from? Mulder! Mulder! Tear it apart.
Hey, was that field he was studying at the beginning? Could be.
He that liveth and was dead, and behold, I am alive forevermore.
That's what that said on the back of the door.
No!
That could be suicide.
I mean, our man Spooky found Ephesian in a bunker. ATF didn't even
Excuse
know.
me?
The Bureau is responsible for
How do you
coordinating
know?
Garbage in, garbage out. You know
All
what I'm
right,
saying?
knock it off!
Yeah, prick.
Ephesian and his wives are being held on, frankly, BS charges of possession of dangerous chemicals. And you know their attorneys will be pushing for a quick arraignment.
My concern is if the temple members are released, any subsequent federal investigation will ignite Ephesian's paranoia to such a degree that we won't have another Waco on our hands.
The devil shall cast some of thee into prison that you may be tried.
Oh, God, here we
Thou
go
hast
again.
journeyed 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death. It is vital that you understand that soon, very, very soon, all unfaithfuls, all disbelievers, all beasts, if that means me or this Sydney,
Another religious nut job.
he will preserve your soul. The Lord will preserve your going out.
Right, before we continue on with this episode, it's already fairly obvious where this is going to go down with it being a cult, because cults are based all around religion and the leader using smoke and mirrors and scripture and God knows what else to convince his flock to do precisely what he wants to do. And they're obviously involved with this case because of claims of paranormal abilities, which will also be a lot of crap. You all know by now, because we've had 2 or 3 maybe episodes kind of similar to this in the X-Files so far, that I'm a complete atheist. So I will try and take this on board as best I can, but I'm giving you a heads up now. I'm not going to believe a word this guy says.
My name is Melissa Riedel Ephesian. I'm 25.
One of his wives?
Melissa, do you understand your right to have an attorney present at this questioning?
Vernon has to wait until God tells him when the right soul is ready to be reincarnated. That's why Vernon's children are the most sacred members of the temple.
I don't know where you two are getting that from. I mean, I saw a couple things. I mean, it could have been anything, right?
Melissa?
Melissa? No, I don't know nobody called that. Don't know anybody
Yes.
called that name. No, I saw a couple things.
Just about
It
to
could have
say.
been anything, right? Who is the president of the United States? What the hell kind of dumb question is that? That is a stupid question. Harry Truman.
Ephesian and his wives are being arraigned tomorrow morning. That's about 15 hours to come up with something.
We need a psychological catalyst. I suggest we take her back to the compound. Maybe exposing her to that environment without Ephesian present will somehow enable Melissa to talk, or a personality inside her.
Well, that's just perfect. We've got the person on tape who they've started all this investigation on, And it turns out it's her because she's got split personalities. Fabulous.
The inability to recall important personal information. She couldn't recall her own hometown. Transitions from one personality state to another are usually a matter of seconds and are often caused by psychosocial stress.
You didn't even have the courage to tell Skinner what you really believe. That Melissa Riedel is being invaded by her past life incarnations. You are only responsible to yourself, Mulder.
See, I am usually on Mulder's side. He's quick thinking. He's got such an investigative mind. He's open to all possibilities, which I am too. And dissociative disorder and split personalities is a thing, is a fact now, as far as I'm aware. But he will probably go... He falls into the trap of becoming too involved with things like this, and sometimes it can be his undoing. The whole demeanour on the photograph is disturbing.
Were any of your friends hurt in this room?
Can you do this?
Melissa, Lily.
Look it.
There we go
Leave
again.
the kid alone. Hear me? She doesn't want to talk.
Is it taken as that? What? That's what Mulder picked up on, but I don't understand how he picked up on it first. Before he even found her. It's turning into more than this.
The weapons were placed in the bunker, which they had built the night before.
That's why they weren't on the ATF report.
Who the hell's this now?
Federals would
This is the
arrive in the
fourth one.
morning just before the sun, just as they had watched their brothers die days before on Missionary Ridge. We had received word of General Claiborne's retreat from the Union Army. The Federal troops would appear from that direction. Rather than retreat any further, they fought them. I was here.
What year is it?
As were you.
Excuse me?
This is the field where I watched you die.
How could I know about a bunker in a field where I've never been?
And why is it that Vernon Ephesian is reported by you a paranoid sociopath because he believes that he lived in Greece 100 years ago, and you're not, even though you believe you died in that field?
Where are the guns?
The bunkers, yeah. The Civil War bunkers, yeah. Vernon.
So they're old
No,
weapons.
but I don't.
Is that what we're getting at here?
About the battlefield.
Your eyes may have changed shade, but it cannot color the soul behind.
Okay.
We have come together in this life, this time, only to meet in passing.
Mulder, this is a product of her illness.
Yes, thank
She
you.
couldn't answer the question of the battlefield. She gave us no specific names, no information to prove her validity. There is nothing that we can use to prove that this is the truth.
Mulder's been hypnotized many times before that it's shown us because of he's trying to do regression as regards his sister. Why has this never come up before? Why is this coming up now, or is this just has been planted in him just as much as it's been implanted to her?
Jewish woman. Poland. My son is with me. He is Samantha.
Samantha?
I see my father.
You've got things confused here. Got too deep with this case.
He's dead in the street. He's Scully.
If
But now,
the right things are
gone on now.
activated in him.
We will live again. We will live again.
Do you see any bunkers in the field?
My soul's tired.
I mean, would this not even be there? Come on, Scully, figure this out, because Mulder's gone kaflooey. Regression seems to have popped a name up. Sarah Kavanagh. Okay. See the wife.
Those tapes are saying that we chose the lives we lived before we were born and who we live with.
Not possible.
I've reported to investigators on site about the possible existence of other bunkers. The field is not the property of the Seven Stars, so the BATF is continuing to search.
Ephesian preaches and his followers believe that the FBI and the ATF are the devil's army, prophesied in Revelations 12:17 to make war on the seed which keep the commandments of God and the testimony of Jesus Christ. But he hid the weapons.
Ephesian knew that he couldn't defeat us.
If he doesn't believe that he can defeat the devil's army, he may think that by denying himself and his followers to the devil, by denying himself, you understand?
No, I will not remove our people. We're close to finding the weapons.
All I want is a cooling off period.
Ephesians gathered all the temple members in the worship hall.
First epistle of John, chapter 3. He laid down his life for us, and we ought to lay down our lives for the brethren.
It's a suicide pact.
Okay, Mulder.
Gonna move in.
Neither in tongue, men, but in deed and truth. And hereby we know that we are the truth.
You can't preach all that stuff from centuries ago. It doesn't wash today.
And enter in through the gates into the city. For without are dogs and sorcerers.
It's too late.
Mulder, no!
Behold, I am alive forevermore.
The FBI would be in so much shit for this.
At times, I almost dream. I, too, have spent a life the sage's way, and in that act of prayer for one more chance went up so earnest, so. But scattered wrecks enough of it to remain dim memories, the goal in sight again.
Okay, guys, episode 5 of the X-Files. Well, I don't really know what to add to that, to be honest. That's got to be one of the worst episodes I've ever watched. No resolution, none of it made sense. Everybody dies. The end. I didn't buy into any of it. On occasion, and this isn't normal for me, you know it's not. I will always give as best a review and reaction I can to any episode of any series that I watch, and sometimes I am overjoyed, sometimes I'm excited, sometimes I'm shocked, sometimes I'm disgusted if it's something gross. Sometimes I'm completely bored out of my mind. And I'll be honest, didn't enjoy it at all. Some people will. Some people will buy into that. Some people will believe in that. I'm not saying whether you should, whether you shouldn't. Just you're watching this to see my reaction to it. And my reaction to it was blah, I'm afraid. And I think I've only done this with either one, possibly two, only because they were religious based, and it's very hard to review something that you don't have any experience or understanding or belief in. I don't know, but that was a poor episode for me, and Mulder just got dragged into this, and there's gonna be no, I knew there was gonna be no explanation of whatever came to pass in this. Even though he plucked these names out that Scully ended up finding in the register of names from back then. So he actually provided more than she did. To me, she was just a paranoid schizophrenia, and it rubbed off on him. That's pretty much it. I'm not going to review it any further than that. But overall, The X-Files is a fabulous show, and I'm not knocking it in the slightest, and I'm not knocking anybody who has any sort of belief or religious belief in anything. All I'm saying is it's not for me. So there you go. If you want to watch it, of course, in full length, you can do it over on Patreon. Just check the link in the description. However, we will just move on to the next episode and we'll leave it there. So until next time, guys, thanks very much for watching. I will see you for the next one. Take care.